Hello. My name is Kim Addis. I am the president and founder of Frame of Mind Coaching, and you have just joined the Frame of Mind Coaching podcast, where we welcome willing guests to be coached live in person on the podcast. Today, I want to welcome Tanja Bessey. As I get to know her, you will get to know her too. Tanja, welcome.
Thank you. Hello.
So tell us a little bit about you. Where are you in the world? What's going on? What do you do? What's up?
Well, I'm from small town, Niagara-on-the-Lake. It's about an hour and a half from Toronto. Right now, like a lot of people, I am laid off.
Okay.
I was in the hospitality industry, which I don't think is going to come back to life in full swing for a while. I was in the conference department.
Right.
But my background also includes media and advertising, and I'm a little far away to pursue that career.
What do you mean far away?
Well, being in Niagara-on-the-Lake, it's a little harder to get a job. It's mostly a big city-based career. I'm hoping that with the people moving to remote work because of COVID, it'll open up some more opportunities for me, but I'm not sure how to navigate that.
Okay, so how long were you in hospitality for?
Well, almost a lifetime. I started when I was a kid with my mom's catering company.
Okay.
And then at 15, I started in dining rooms at a hotel. And it also got me through college, paid for my college, all those wonderful things. And then when the company in Toronto I was working for downsized, I decided to walk away from that and stay closer to home because I was living an hour and a half away.
Yeah.
And then I ventured back into hospitality. So It's been sort of on and off for a very long time.
Okay, and you said that you also have some skills or some training background in media and advertising. Can you share a little bit about that too?
I went to school, Humber College, for the media and advertising program. Mm-hmm. And then I worked for a large ad agency in Toronto right out of school. Moved to BC, but the recession hit, so I couldn't, unfortunately, jump back into it there. And then when I came back, I worked with a company called Active International, which is a corporate trade / media company.
Sorry, it's called Interactive International?
Active International.
Okay.
And I love that company.
And what did you do in that company?
I started out as a account manager, and then I moved on to business development. But what our team did was launch new divisions within Canada.
Okay. And what were you selling exactly?
Corporate trade is if you have additional assets or a warehouse full of. One that I always use is Coke. Coke wasn't a client, but it's the one that everybody knows. Let's say somebody over forecasted their sales for the year. They've got $1 million of Coke wholesale sitting in their warehouse and they can't move it. Mm-hmm. What Active would do is take that asset and in turn give them trade credits for the full wholesale value. And they could use those trade credits against things like media. So they could keep their books whole, but they would have to funnel a lot of their advertising through Active International. And so they would keep their books whole, and Active would profit from selling their unusable assets.
I see. So Active would give them advertising?
Yeah.
And in exchange, Active would take over their Coke cans and resell them.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. That's pretty much it. Yeah,
very interesting.
Yeah, I loved it. That was a very interesting model.
And this was in Vancouver?
No, this was in Toronto. This was when I came back.
Mm-hmm. And this is when you came back. And how long were you doing that for?
7 years.
Okay. And this is the job that you just got laid off from?
No, that one was about 2.5 years ago. And then this one is when I was moved back into hospitality.
Okay, so you left Active.
Mm-hmm.
When and why? That was because of the recession, or what was the reason you left?
No, that was because, so their roots are media.
Okay.
And when I was working there, I had been moved into a division that were building new divisions within Canada, but they were not media related.
Okay.
They were print related or promotional product related, and they were also building out a travel division.
Okay.
So when they decided to go back to their roots, all those new divisions were shut down, which is what I worked on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So, and then you went back into hospitality where you were in the conference space.
Yeah.
Okay. When you look back at all of your roles and your jobs and your positions, what do you think is or has been your greatest contribution? Like, what's your strength? What's your real kind of strongest skill set?
For me, and it's also something I enjoy doing, is building or going in and fixing, seeing deficiencies and finding solutions. I love finding solutions. My old manager used to say my brain would work like everything was a puzzle.
Okay.
And I enjoy it.
Okay. And do you mean like fixing things in operations or fixing things in business development, or it doesn't really matter?
It doesn't matter. For me personally, it doesn't matter. I love to grow things and I love to build things.
Okay. And would you say that you're meticulous? Are you like detail oriented? Do you have that attention to all, making sure you're dotting the I's and crossing the T's? Is that who you are?
I am, but I also have flexibility to know that things don't always go as planned.
Okay.
So I like everything covered, but I also like to have a plan B and a plan C.
Okay.
Just in case.
Can you go back to me for a second when you were at Active?
Mm-hmm.
Was your role business development? Was it fixing? What was your role there when you said, I love that job, I love the company? I'm very interested in moments when people say, I loved it.
It was so at the beginning of the career there, it was account management. So it was liaisoning between the client, the agencies, the creative, and then finding solutions that would best fit their business for what we did.
Okay.
So that was part of it. And then also maintaining, reporting, all those wonderful things.
Uh-huh.
And then also finding solutions when things didn't go quite right. And then the next part of it was building divisions from scratch.
Okay. And so, and let me just kind of understand, were you given the account once it was there, or did you have to go get the account?
No, there was no, it was given. I walked in and they would hand me the accounts. There was another department that did the selling or the onboarding and the beginning parts of the onboarding, and I would take over.
Okay. And now would you say your greatest challenge is, what the heck do I do with my life?
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So it's very interesting because I tend to work with highly driven entrepreneurs, leaders, senior leaders in massive organizations. And the people I work with are typically what we call visionaries. Mm-hmm. And these are people who invent businesses, they start things, they create things, and very often they're people who do not have an attention to detail, who do not know how to necessarily fix problems. I mean, they could, and they have an idea for how to fix it, but they're not necessarily those people who dot their I's and cross their T's. Some of them are, a lot of them are not. And they look for specifically people like you, and people like you are called an integrator, a person who can bring all the pieces together and help a visionary, an entrepreneur, a person starting out, build their company. Yes? Sounds right?
Yeah.
So the question becomes, like, where have you been looking for opportunities? So one of the things you started off with is, I live in a small city, it's hard for me. Mm-hmm. Right? So that's one way to look at things. The truth is that right now everything's virtual.
Yeah.
or most things are, not everything, but most things are virtual. So I think you actually have a unique opportunity to build a relationship with someone who is a visionary, who is completely open to hiring someone or working with someone, partnering with someone at a distance. I suspect that you haven't been looking in those spots, in those places.
No.
Okay, so.
No, I don't even know where to start. Yeah.
Okay, so where to start? And so to me, it's very interesting because we often find limitations when we look for something because our range of vision is narrowly focused. So you're probably looking in hospitality. You're probably looking in the places you have been.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And, I don't know if you've ever heard of the expression of Wayne Gretzky. The reason why he was really good was because he could imagine or predict where the puck was going, and he would go there instead of chasing the ball. He would chasing the puck. He would go to where the puck was going to be. And so in your case, what I'm sensing is that you're going to where the puck has been rather than going to where the puck will be.
Yes. Yeah. I think you're exactly right.
Right. And so what I'm really trying to say is I think that there's actually a massive opportunity to help and or maybe two even entrepreneur who needs someone who's that person, attentive to detail, meticulous, able to coordinate lots of different moving parts, able to solve problems, an independent thinker, etc. So where do you look for that? That's your question, right?
Yeah.
The truth is there are a whole bunch of organizations out there that serve entrepreneurs. So it could be your chamber of commerce. It could be a young professionals organizations, YPO. It could be EO, entrepreneurs organizations, where they're always looking for talent, people who are capable, driven, loyal, have a skill set, do good work. There's always a need for really great talent, particularly your skill set. So write this down. I want you to write this down. In Canada, there's an organization called TEC, and TEC is short for the Executive Committee. There's another organization called EO, Entrepreneurs Organization. And check into your Chamber of Commerce. Also, Women's Business, WPO, Women's President's Organization. So all of these are organizations of entrepreneurs who are looking for, let's call it a right-hand woman.
Yeah.
And that is where I think you would be the greatest, you would do a great job in those roles. And so rather than looking for in the old places, I think it's really important for you to start looking in new places.
I think that's where I'm so lost is where to look. So this is amazing.
Right. And so when you tap into these organizations and say, hey, here's my resume, here's my skill set, here's specifically what I'm looking for. I'm looking to work with an entrepreneur who needs, and use this language, an integrator.
Integrator. I'm writing it down.
And I would look it up. What is the difference between a visionary and an integrator? What does an integrator do? I think you will find that it's a perfect fit for you and your skill sets.
Sounds amazing.
Okay? So very often when we get stuck, it means we're not really looking broadly because we don't believe it's possible, because we don't believe that that's accessible to us, because we never thought of it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I hope that that was helpful. I hope that gave you some things to think about. But the idea is like, what is your skill set and where can it be useful? And so in your case, as I hear you describe what you're really good at, it really sounds like you'd be awesome in the role of integrator. And that opens a whole new set of doors for you.
Really, yeah. This is amazing. Thank you. Yes.
Tanja, thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for sharing your challenge. I think sometimes when we are looking for something new, we don't know what's possible until we talk to people that we've never spoken to before. And we're always kind of looking behind us to give us indicators of what's ahead. And perhaps a different strategy is really to kind of knock on doors we've never knocked on before and have conversations that are completely foreign to us. And in a way, I guess this is a bit of a foreign conversation.
Yeah.
And just learn and be open to what other people have experienced and what other people know that you haven't yet had access to. So thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing your story. For those of you who are listening, if anyone out there has a challenge that you want to share on the podcast, please reach out to me. My email address is kim@frameofmindcoaching.com. And if you have a challenge that you're not quite willing to share on the podcast, but do want to discuss, please reach out to me anyways. My email address is kim@frameofmindcoaching.com. Tanja, thank you so much for sharing this time with me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you very much.